Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you who are out there, and welcome to Truth in Media. So, we are just on to talk about what is going on with this entire situation with President Trump, and just want to come back a little bit. I was on Mr. Rose Live this morning and on Talking with Jesus Talk this morning talking about this whole thing. But I saw something recently that got me thinking about this whole thing. It was a video that I want to share with you. And let's go to the video um, and and see this video here. This video came out from Officer Ministries, and he has some things to say about this whole thing. I think she gets a new light into what we were just discussing the other day concerning wealth. They, if you watch it later, concerning President Trump's face when it came to Israel, right? And that bomb that he did. And so we're going to check it out.
Official, we are not out of the woods yet.
You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Okay, so again, those of you who are familiar with this ministry here, hey, it's interesting. It's an interesting way of approaching everything concerning what is going on when it comes to what President Trump is obviously attempting to do. What he's attempting to do, what he's attempting to bring about is this peace deal. Now, the scripture lets us know very plainly that this peace deal will be one in which the presidents will try and attempt to get Israel to stop fighting with everyone, right? So basically, the entire world is going to be wrapped up in this whole peace deal situation. So let's go to the news and see what the Fox News is saying about this whole matter, because this is something that is historic. It's historic because, in a sense, we've never really seen a time like this before in history since 1948. The Israel got started as a country again. And so now we're seeing the trouble that is following it. I believe it's prophetic. And so these are prophetic times that we live in. Let's go and listen to this.
Assessment, which was produced by U.S. Central Command and by the
Look, this is a lot to get to. So, Louis, what are you hearing about this early intelligence assessment here on exactly how much damage they think was done to this nuclear site in Iran?
Kana, this initial assessment, which was produced by U.S. Central Command and by the Defense Intelligence Agency, says that the initial assessment is that while there was significant damage to the three nuclear facilities that were targeted by the United States over the weekend, it only set back the nuclear program by several months, and that Iran's enriched uranium, what they had already produced prior to those attacks this weekend, remains untouched.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that? Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you have to respond to Iran like this?
Now, we're hearing incredibly optimistic views coming out of the White House as far as how long this can hold and what this is going to look like. That obviously still remains to be seen on the implementation side of this, and waiting to see if the firing does stop and if Iran and Israel do both agree to this. Because, speaking of the fluidity of the situation, it was just 24 hours ago that President Trump himself was suggesting a regime change in Iran was a possibility. And obviously right before that, having the United States strike Iran. And so, yes, there have been a lot of phone calls going back and forth. In part, this has to do with Iran's limited response earlier, where they fired on a U.S. base in Qatar, but there were no casualties. We know that they did give a heads up that they were going to be firing on U.S. bases without exactly specifying.
Okay, so here's the thing what we're learning from this is that everything that is happening now is within the Bible, within the pages of Scripture, and the things that we're seeing now. The Bible talks about it, has been talking about it. Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 talks about, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, there was a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible one, strong and exceeding. Now, these beasts are governments, right? These are systems of government that will come up in the end, and these beasts will have 10 regions. They'll have 10 horns. These 10 horns represent 10 regions that will be in the end time. And so this beast that is coming, which is the New World Order, will be an agenda that will come out of the old world order. The old world order will be done away with, and that's what we're actually headed towards. And there was a little horn in the midst of in the midst of the beast, right? And this little horn spoke great things according to Scripture. And this was a man with a very boisterous mouth, right? So this is these images that we're seeing, these beasts. This is one way of describing the future, as opposed to, calling out governments and calling out the names of governments that didn't exist at that particular time. So Daniel spoke this prophecy many, many thousands of years before this particular time came about. So that's why we're saying it in metaphors. The word beast belongs to governments, right? There will be a government system, and this government system will be diverse, unlike any other government that had existed before. It says, behold, behold, it says, the beast was cast down, and then, behold, the Ancient of Days. I'm supposed to go to the next scripture. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me go back to the previous scripture here. Okay, it says, I saw in a night vision, and behold, there was a fourth beast. It was dreadful and terrible and strong and exceedingly great, with iron teeth. It was something that had never been seen before. And that was what the point was about what I was just saying. And then, so this, in the next verse here in Daniel chapter 8, we see it considered its horns, and it came out having 10 horns, basically. Those 10 horns were crowns that will be set up in the end time. And in the midst of the crown, there was a little horn. And before this little horn was plucked away, it was speaking great things. It had great things to say in the earth. And this is one of the things why we believe that Donald Trump would be one of the little horns, or at least he exemplifies the little horn, where he speaks great things. And so this is one of the reasons why we're kind of pointing at this whole thing, looking at the end time as being, maybe Donald Trump might be one of the prototypes of the beast. Not saying that he's the Antichrist or anything like that. We don't know. So, but we do know that he is in the end time prophecy spirit. And so he's a little horn, and it says he was plucked up, the first horn was plucked up by the roots, and behold, he had eyes and eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And so this is one of the things that we're looking at. Anyway, you let me know what you think about it. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll be talking to you later.